Hi, joining me on tonight's show is Louis Calvelli, the Executive Director of Casa Belvedere. Hi, Louis.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for coming. I can't wait I love Casa Belvedere. I've been there. I've been to some of the shows.
Well, what's there not to love?
I know, right? Well, and then I'm Italian. Casa Belvedere is the Italian Cultural Foundation. And I want to ask you, how did that come about? Like, who started it?
Well, in November of 2008, Gina Biancardi and Luciano Ramarona purchased this unique Grimes Hill estate with the intention of restoring the house to its original splendor and converting it into an Italian arts and cultural center. Basically, the whole concept behind this is to preserve and promote and celebrate the rich heritage of Italy and a deep appreciation of the language and the arts and the culture of Italy, and also the history and the fashion and the cuisines. And we do that through, innovative events and programs.
Well, all the Italian, because it's really amazing. I was there at Christmas time, and we'll get back to when you have events, but you had the Nativity.
Yes, we had the Presepio. And what I like to say is that, Casa Belvedere is indeed an Italian arts and cultural organization, but, we're not a museum, but we have exhibits. We're not a restaurant, but we have culinary events.
I know you're going to have that. All right, so we're going to come back to that. But let's start with now, what does Casa Belvedere mean?
Well, Casa Belvedere means home with a beautiful view, and if you come to
It does have an unbelievable view.
I mean, it's a captivating view. The mansion was built in 1908. It sits on 2.75 acres of land. It appropriately overlooks the Verrazzano Bridge, and for those of us who have parents and grandparents that may have immigrated from Italy, the New York City harbor. So it's appropriately placed, and the fact that it's in Staten Island is even more
now,
important.
beautiful house. That's
beautiful
what that means,
house
Casa
on
Belvedere.
a beautiful view.
Now, there's history to the house, though.
Well, yeah, it's a landmark estate. It was built in 1908. It was actually built by a silk merchant by the name of Stern. According to New York City landmarks, it's called the Stern Estate. And he was married to a Roebling, which we all know is the architect of the Brooklyn Bridge. So it does have some historical significance on many levels.
Okay, yeah, but it has room after room after room.
It's
and when I walked in there, I was like, it has to be. I know, because who has rooms like that? You're used to the Center Hall Colonial, that's big. But to the left is dining room, to the right is living. No, it's room after room. There must have been like the parlor, the library, the sitting room.
Right, we have 12,000 square feet of space.
Wow.
So it's a huge house.
And I remember reading about that house, the history there. There was, I think, Roberta Flack leased that house for a long time.
Right. I mean, it went through a number of different owners. Actually, I think only two people actually owned the home, but then it was rented. I mean, the president of Wagner College was there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful home.
Right.
And it is of an Italian
it's
design.
It's an Italianate villa. It's a stunning home, and I encourage everyone to drive by.
Well, I love what you've done that, but let's review the purpose of Casa Belvedere and talk about some of the goals.
Well, I mean, it's to preserve and promote the Italian language and heritage and culture. We do that through programs and
education, as far as you have Italian classes.
Right. Right off the bat. I mean, when we started this organization, and you saw this beautiful home, we really wanted to demonstrate to the community what the aspiration of this organization was. One of the first programs we initiated, and this is even before we even cleaned the place out a little bit, was to create an Italian language program, and we provide Italian language instruction from toddlers to adults.
So I think that's great. My father was born in Italy, and I don't speak Italian.
And that's a shame.
Isn't it?
So you should take one of of our classes then. You know,
And then
should
I'm
take
going to
a-
be really confused because I'm used to dialect. Because you're teaching proper Italian,
Well,
right?
right, but I learned the dialect as well, and it does have its place. But yes, we do teach
It's like
Italian.
the New York accent. Everywhere I go,
Exactly.
you're from New York? Yeah,
Exactly,
all right.
exactly.
Now, what events have you had, and what's being offered now at Casa Belvedere? Besides, you do have the language class.
Right. Besides the language classes, like I said before, we've run the gamut. I mean, as you alluded to before, we had the Presepio. On June 3rd, we had a big event where we celebrated the 150th anniversary of the unification of Italy and the 350th anniversary of Staten Island, and we also had some exhibits that were on loan to us from the Center of
Now,
Migration
you
Studies.
mentioned something quick, the unification of Italy.
You're
So
interrupting
now,
me.
I'm sorry. I know, because now you're getting into Italian history that
Right.
I don't even know. So
So-
that's another education, because I didn't know anything about North and South, and they had like their own little Civil War.
Well, yeah, so it was a series of different city-states and that were unified under Garibaldi. I mean, not under Garibaldi, but Garibaldi, where there's actually a museum.
Garibaldi came here
Exactly.
in exile.
A Staten Island resident unified Italy. But anyway, going back to what you were saying, I mean, we run the gamut. I mean, we've had, culinary experiences, wine tastings on the 23rd of June. We have Chef Biagio from Pasticceria Bruno, who's doing a series of food demonstrations and dinners with wine pairings on Sicily.
Now, wine pairings now and everything. I want to play that tape. If you can get that tape ready. You have plans to renovate and expand. And we're going to pull up some of the renderings. There they are. And I want you to explain, because there's a vineyard that's coming in here too.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's 2.75 acres of land, and within the current Casa Belvedere mansion, as you see there, the first floor will continue to be used as exhibit space and affords special events and dining opportunities. There will be a members-only dining room and a restaurant in the lower level, as well as a banquet hall accommodating up to 150 guests.
That's too small.
There will be members-only wine cellar in the lower level. The second floor will be dedicated to beginning of a cooking academy, offering classes for the average food enthusiast, as well as a training platform for chefs. Additionally, a temperature-controlled classroom will be dedicated to chocolate and more, with an adjacent baking room. The Italian language classes will also be on the second floor of the mansion, and the solarium to the right of the building will be rebuilt to its original 1908 splendor. And as you can see, there's an outdoor terrace, as
It
well
looks
as
absolutely
as well as
breathtaking.
you see the vineyard that we're doing, the rendering there, as well as we move forward. There is also there's going to be a greenhouse, as well as an Italian garden, and the Italian garden will also help, will be used by the students of our cooking academy. So that freestanding building that you see there will also house exhibit spaces and classrooms, and also an Italian American museum. So there's a lot going on. It's a wonderful
And there's
project,
the original
and
house. It's beautiful.
that's the house in its full splendor.
The Italian American Museum.
So there's many opportunities there. It's going to be a splendid facility, and we certainly encourage everyone to participate and be part of it.
I saw the Jimmy Durante one-man show that you did, and
We're going to
I
have a
thought it
car
was
show in
great.
September.
I missed the Vespers when you had the Vespers.
We have Fiats in front
You're
of the house right now.
raffling a Cinquecento. I noticed that right
limited
away when
edition,
when it came
collector's
up.
item Cinquecento. So so I encourage everyone to really come by. I mean, there's really something in it for everyone. Those people who love Italy or who are Italian, and those who are not.
Well, I love the fact that you're sharing the Italian culture, and that it has more to do than, everything today is like mob wives, Italians, the Sopranos.
we're
with
so
the mob.
far
And
from
Italians have played a part in almost everything: the fashion, the art,
And
cooking.
we're here to highlight all of those wonderful things that Italians and Italian Americans have contributed to the
Now-
United States and to the world.
You've launched a campaign to raise funds to renovate and restore the
Yeah,
mansion.
we have a $3 million campaign to convert the mansion to a public use facility and actually be the Italian cultural center that Staten Island really deserves and needs.
Okay. Okay. If anyone wants any information about the events that take place at Casa Belvedere, or if you want to help support in their new mission, the new project that's coming out, and Italian classes, any information, please email lovinleyna@gmail.com. I'll be sure to direct you properly because you'll see me there at Casa Belvedere.
Thank you.
Thanks
a
Louis.
lot. Much
Thank you.
appreciated.